Welcome to High School Bathrooms, everyone, the best place to have a conversation. I'm Simon.
And I'm Derek.
Today we're going to be talking about what women like. And to help us out with this topic, we actually have a guest today. Derek's going to introduce her.
We have our very own female expert. She's been a female for how long? 14, 15 years now?
15?
15 years. And her name is Alex. Welcome, Alex. Congratulations on being the first guest on this podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. We're super excited for this podcast because like I said, you are our first guest. So tell us a little more about yourself. Introduce yourself to the viewers.
Well, like you said, I'm Alex. I'm a cheerleader. I'm obsessed with music, and I watch Netflix constantly. So.
Literally
Wow,
everybody
you
else.
sound like a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah, Alex
Which is
is just,
perfect.
a normal female expert. Hopefully she's here today to help explain the intricacies of the female mind to us males who know nothing about it. So she's just gonna help explain a lot of things, and we actually have a lot of questions today to ask her. So, Alex, what is your current relationship status for the viewers to know?
I'm in a relationship for
Ooh,
6 months now.
All
Yeah.
right. And how is that going so far for you?
Really good, actually.
That's great. So
Yeah.
hopefully you know a lot. Well, since it's going very good, obviously that means that your partner knows what he or she is doing, and that means you might have a lot of personal experience to tell us about what girls like, which is very, very helpful. But anyways, we're gonna start off. I wanted to bring up something that someone had mentioned earlier, and they talked to me about, and the question is. Well, specifically, for this podcast episode, we're gonna be narrowing in onto what we want to talk about. So it's gonna go from, basically what girls like in a guy, what they're looking for, how to tell if a girl likes you back, because I think we all need help with that. And what girls actually like when they're in a relationship, and we're gonna have our own thoughts and opinions of this as we do the episode. So the first thing I actually wanted to bring up that was brought up earlier to me. It's this little stereotype. I don't think it's exactly true, but why do girls tend to go for all the bad guys, like the troublemakers, the bad boys, over the good guys? If that makes any sense.
Okay.
Why do you believe that's a thing?
So, I have two responses to this. So one is, from the time we're really, really young, girls are always told that, like, if a guy is rude to her, then he likes her. So I guess since that's been drilled into girls since we've been literal toddlers, it just kind of sticks. And you end up going for guys who aren't the best for you. And then there's also the fact that, like, there are some really, really sweet guys out there, but a lot of the people who call themselves, like, good guys, quote unquote, aren't necessarily the best.
I see.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I have personal experience with the whole if he's mean to you, he's nice to you thing. 'Cause I remember in elementary school, I'm pretty sure everyone, at least at some point in elementary school, has heard that. I mean, I heard it. I would always tease my friends about it. It's like, ooh, he's like saying stuff about you, and then like I mean, it was actually a little funny because now that I think about it, it's just such a silly thing. Like if he's mean to you, then that means he likes you. Um, like what if someone's bullying you? It's like, oh, he definitely has a crush on me. I feel like that actually happens sometimes in real life. It's gonna be rare in my opinion, I think. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just so silly now that I think about it. But yeah.
If I could add something in, another reason that, at least that I know of, is that bad guys are usually
Oh,
confident,
that's
and they're
amazing.
Yeah.
they know what they're talking about, so they project themselves. Whereas good guys are not as confident; they're more to themselves. Usually, are more introverted, and they like to be within themselves and not outgoing. So it's a lot harder for you to like someone who's not confident. That's a big trait that a guy can have.
So Simon, what you're basically saying is that the bad guys or the troublemakers are confident in themselves compared to maybe more of the good guys who might be a little bit more shy and withdrawn, and that's why girls are drawn to that.
Yes, that is one of the big reasons that they get lots of girls.
Well, yeah, because like people who the more jerkish people, they come off a lot stronger, and they definitely talk more, and they're more like well known. And I don't know, especially in today's society, you just see that like these people are always looked at more. If that makes any sense.
Well, no, it makes sense because I feel like the only thing you hear are the bad things. Like even with the news today, you don't the news aims to sell, and by selling you need to grab people's attention, and do that you just put all the bad things up because people are just always interested in bad things. So it's the same thing with guys. You always hear about the bad things they do, I feel like. But when it comes to the good guys, you don't really hear anything about it, but you do see it. You see it in action. Even if you don't hear anything about it. Because honestly, all I hear all the time is like, oh, so-and-so's a jerk. Oh, so-and-so's an F-boy. But you never hear anything like, oh, so-and-so's such a great guy, you know?
Yeah.
But that's just me. I don't know.
There was a question I wanted to ask you about liking and stuff like that. Is what kind of what is the biggest sign that a girl likes a guy? Because he brought up like, oh, being mean is something, but
Well, I feel like there's different ways you can answer that. I think it varies for different girls, but isn't there like a bunch of universal ways you could tell? I don't know if there is. I don't know if that's like all true or not, but
well, I think what I see more so is because girls aren't as straightforward as guys can be. I guess how we flirt's more so like through physical like contacts, like trying to be near them as much as we can, and just like
I see.
Obviously the most obvious way is if she straight up tells you, and a lot of girls I know will do that.
yeah.
Man, I wish. But don't they like stare at you too? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I know at least if I like someone, I stare a lot. And
Yeah.
I try to talk to them as much as possible.
So basically, if a girl likes you, the biggest thing you can tell is if she wants to be in contact with you. Like more than usual, I mean.
I guess, yeah. If you're hanging out with her and like a few of your friends and stuff, and she's leaning more towards you, and she's trying to spend more time talking to you and being around you than everyone else, then she possibly could like you.
Well, I mean, also,
But you can't really be sure.
Well, I mean,
That's the same thing with guys, because we want to be. It's just because you want to be around the people that you like, so you're going to be trying to be closer to them. So that's the same thing for guys. If you wanted to say something,
but
honestly, I think that guys just overthink it.
I feel like we do. I have been a guy for 16 years now, and I can say, with all full honesty, full confidence, I have like no clue. As I'm clueless when it comes to this stuff. Like I've had girls had crushes on me before, and like never, that's surprising, right? That's surprising. But besides that, I've had girls had crushes on me, and I'm completely clueless. Like I am an idiot when it comes to that stuff. I don't notice anything. But
yeah.
But the only thing is, with the whole friend situation, I think just make sure, like, if you're suspicious and you think your friend likes you, just analyze the situation first, because, like, for example, if she's leaning closer towards you, yes, she might like you, I think, but what if she's shy and doesn't really know anyone else there? So don't take it the wrong way, too. It's all about perspective. Just make sure to analyze the context. But I think this is, like, off of movies and stuff, but is the whole, like, what is it? Like, batting your eyes thing? Is that a thing, or?
No.
I'm always curious. Okay.
No.
I feel like that's
in a scientific way, if you really want to get into that aspect of it, if her pupils blow up when you guys are looking at each other, that's definitely a telltale sign.
Oh, shoot. So, like, you're telling... Okay, that explains a lot. I was talking to...
Because when... Sorry.
Yeah, no.
You want me to explain why that happened?
Sure.
Okay, it's because you like the person, and as you feel a sense of liking and stuff, you're going to get a rush of adrenaline, which kind of does things like that. It just messes with your body, kind of activates a fight or flight response,
Hmm.
which makes your pupils dilate and your blood goes faster. So that's why your cheeks flush and other things like that.
Oh shoot, you're right. You're right. Wait, yeah. Here, give it up for Simon, our scientist on this podcast, right? But
That's also why you feel butterflies in your stomach because of adrenaline.
so you said, oh my gosh, I forgot. I can't believe we didn't bring this up. Blushing, big thing. Is that a thing, Alex? If they're blushing.
You can't. Okay, so, but you can't really tell, and here's
Okay.
why. So I know a lot of girls in our grade, especially if they have fairer skin, they'll just blush no matter what.
Okay.
And then there's girls like me who are too tan to blush. So you really cannot tell when it comes to that.
Okay. But I mean, the whole eye pupil thing, that's actually very interesting, and I'm gonna make sure to look out for that next time I guess I talk to someone. I mean, I was talking to this one girl once, and her eye was black, so I don't know if it's a good sign or not, but it's all
Well,
good.
your pupil will only dilate up to around 20%.
Ew, that's lame. Oh, never mind. I don't think she likes me. I think she just has something wrong with her eyes. That's okay. I can only hope, right? But are there any other? Well, we've been talking about physical science this whole
Social.
time, but what about like social science, or like how she talks to you if she likes you? Like, do you? I actually read somewhere that if a girl likes you and she talks to you, I think the pitch of her voice changes. Is that true?
It can be, yeah. I know mine does, at least.
Okay.
Like they'll try to sound a little sweeter in a way.
Okay. I think it goes up in pitch. Simon's been in a relationship before. Have you ever noticed that happening, or?
I didn't know the girl very much before got into the relationship, so I didn't actually see most of these signs.
When I was in my relationship a while back, I can say for a fact that her voice actually did go up a pitch when she talked to me. So I think that's true because she actually liked me back. You know, but I think that's true. I don't. It's probably not true for everyone, but I think that's something you can look out for. Now we brought this up earlier in the beginning of the podcast, but we were talking about confidence, and would you say that confidence would be the number one trait for guys to have that girls like? I mean, it's gonna be different for each girl, but I think confidence is a very big one, because that's all I hear about a lot of times.
I feel like it's just confident guys will come off as stronger, and it's just it's more attractive to have someone be like so sure of themselves, not in a bad way though, like
You don't want to be cocky, you just want to be confident. There's a difference. There's a line.
just someone who like isn't afraid to be themselves.
Well, I'm pretty sure Simon brought this up in last weekend's episode. He said that I'm pretty sure I don't know if he said this or not, but confident people, since they're more sure of themselves, it makes people believe that they have like more resources, right? Is that what you said, or they're stronger?
They're physically more capable of protecting you and defending a child that might possibly show up.
So I guess that explains it in the biologically. But what other traits do you think guys have that girls are attracted to?
Well, aside from physical traits, because everyone has their own preferences.
Yes.
I definitely do notice that girls go for like funnier people. So humor definitely matters.
I think I hear a lot about humor too when it comes to girls. I hear things like if you make a girl laugh, then she's probably gonna be more likely to like you compared to someone who's physically attractive. But honestly, but if you don't have a good time with them, it's how well that works.
Yeah.
But humor, confidence. How about courage? Would that be one?
Courage is like confidence.
Well, I mean, yes,
Yeah,
but I mean, like they're not afraid to do things. Like that. I mean, confidence. You're sure of yourself in that way, but courage. It takes courage and confidence, two different things to me. Because courage, it means that you're not sure of yourself, but because that's what the definition of courage is. You're still scared of it, but you overcome and do it anyways. So, do you think girls like more courageous, outgoing guys compared to the more withdrawn, shy ones who don't really take risks, like risk taking?
I mean,
Is that a big
yeah, I
thing?
suppose because like I said earlier, extroverted people definitely
Hmm.
They're more
like
socially
they
capable.
get around more. So
I mean, I feel like
yeah.
girls like the more adventurous, like guys. You know, if that makes any sense? Is that a thing?
It also depends on the kind of girl, but
Hmm.
I mean, when it comes to more adventurous people, you just can have more fun with them.
Okay, that's gonna be a big
So
thing. So they have to. So what you're saying, we've been talking about. They have to be fun to be around.
yeah.
Okay. And I mean, I think that's a little obvious, but then people don't really realize that either because they'll just, oh, he's super cute, but his personality's terrible, but I'm still dating him anyways. Now, what else draws you towards a person like that you're not dating? Like we were talking about your boyfriend, and what really drew you to him before you guys were dating? Like, why did you like him?
Well, I knew that he was really, really smart.
Hmm. Is that a trait
So
that a lot of girls like, or I'm asking out of my nerdy curiosity right here.
I would I would hope that intelligence is sought after.
Hmm.
I'm not too sure though.
So you said he
I
was
don't.
smart. Hmm. Keep going, Simon.
I was just throwing my 2 cents in that I don't think intelligence is actually as highly looked after, just because even though intelligence is a very key trait that you can have in our society, it's not as highly valued as what we've been talking about, which is risk taking, confidence, and other things. Because someone who's intelligent
Yeah.
isn't as likely to take risks, so they're more likely to be an introverted somewhat person because they realize and analyze the dangers that could be happening, so they're less likely to be as confident.
Hmm. Well, I actually feel
Well,
like when it comes to that, they're gonna take more calculated risks, in my opinion. So they're not gonna jump blindly into it, but that in turn, like you said, makes them more, I guess, cautious. And I mean, fortune favors the bold. That's what I heard. So, Alex, what were you gonna say?
well, okay, so maybe this is just me. I'm not sure, but I'm really, really attracted to like people who are quieter and people
Hmm.
who are intelligent but will still take risks.
Okay.
Like people who still have an adventurous side, but if something's a really horrible idea, they know not like just to be more cautious.
Now, next question: do girls like it when? I mean, I think this is gonna be one of those obvious dumb questions, but do girls like it when guys do things for them or step out of their way to do things, just for them?
It's definitely it'll boost attraction definitely, whether it's in a platonic or a romantic way. But and it definitely boosts like trustworthiness and stuff
Hmm.
for that person. Um but really that just depends on the girl cuz I know a lot of people like myself included who don't really like if guys like do a lot for them
Oh.
just
There's
cuz they'll feel guilty.
Oh, I see.
uh, if it, I'm gonna go into science time again, but the
Sign with Simon.
the reason for this is there's if you wanted to look these up, this is great. I don't know all of them off of hand, but there's 5 languages of love that were
Yes, Simon. I have the book.
the
I have the
five
book,
languages.
Simon. I have the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
So and once you know these, they're actually once you do
I'm
one,
gonna grab the book.
it's gonna release oxytocin, which is something that makes people love each other. It's the chemical in your brain that goes off whenever you have a person that you like or whatever. And once you release more oxytocin, you're going to start becoming more closely bonded, and that your bodily functions are going to be more related to that person. So you're going to like them more and more. But if they do something of a different language of love, it's not going to release oxytocin because you don't think that's something loving. So you want to do their language of love so that they feel appreciated and other things like that.
Simon, as you're speaking, I am holding the physical book in my hands. I love this book so much. It's I don't know if it's a different book for each one, but the one I have right now is called The Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Highly recommended. I believe it's one of the top 10 books for couples or people in a relationship. If you're listening to this, I highly recommend you get this book. It teaches you a lot. I haven't even dated anyone for 3 years, but it's helping me a lot actually. Even though it's meant to help you in a relationship, it's been helping me actually trying to get one. So I highly recommend it. But
Yeah. I actually, sorry for interrupting,
okay,
but I
go ahead.
actually took that test with my boyfriend a while back, and it definitely did help like us understand each other more. So trying to find someone where you have the same, because it'll rank each love language on what's most valuable to you versus what isn't. So it'll definitely help you understand other people and like how to get closer to them and stuff if you do look into it.
Well, one of the other things is you don't have to have the same love language. You just have to do the things that they'll appreciate, and they'll love you more for it.
Yeah.
So basically, girls can be attracted to people who don't love them the same way, but can still speak their language. Is that what I'm hearing here?
Well,
As long
yeah.
as
I mean,
Kinda.
I think girls like guys who are more similar to them, right? I mean, I think everyone, is that an everyone thing? Like, you like people who are similar to you and have the same tastes and interests?
Well, okay, so I don't exactly remember the exact study, but I do remember hearing how you are attracted to people who are similar to you, but your relationship will work more if you guys aren't too similar, if that makes
No,
sense.
it makes
it's
sense.
not actually.
Like for
Well, you can keep going.
No,
sorry.
it's okay.
No.
For instance, like I'm a very, very anxious person. I can't really handle stress very well, and my boyfriend is literally the most chill person you will ever meet in your life. And I think if you guys have polar opposite attractions like that, it'll help balance each other out, and that's why relationships like that work.
One of the other reasons for that is if you spend too much time together, you won't have a good relationship because you'll be too bored of the other person, and you won't like them anymore.
Yeah, we touched upon this in last week's episode about the whole dependence cleanliness thing. But other than that, what do girls like when they're actually in a relationship? Because obviously you can do more now that you're dating them. Like, give us some examples of things that your boyfriend did for you, if that would be okay, that you really liked while you guys were dating.
Well, so you know how most guys, they really just shut their emotions away and they don't really, or at least at first, they aren't too open to affection. So like, when you're in a relationship, you know, it's really, really nice, or at least a lot of girls I know think it's really nice when guys can open up to them and trust them, because it definitely feels like we're special to them in that way, just to be able to talk about how you're feeling and like how your day's gone and stuff.
So
Communication is so important.
Yes. So girls actually like it when guys talk about their feelings. I feel like that's one of those stereotypical cliche things. But is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it feels like you guys can trust us more if you can open up.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. But you were talking about communication. Could you please elaborate on that?
Being able to, you know, like, if something doesn't feel right, being able to talk through anything, being able to not feeling like you have to keep secrets from each other just because you're scared that, like, they won't like you or anything. Like, I love when my boyfriend will just, like, tell me that we need to talk about something so we can, like, work something out in our relationship, because it definitely, it builds up trust and it helps keep your relationship healthier.
So trust is also a very big thing about relationships that that girls like. Well, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. And then, you know, physical affection. I mean, that depends on the girl, but for most girls, you know, being able to actually, like, hold hands and, like, do all... So I'm a very, very hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
I'm very, very old school, so I still like that whole, like, walking along the beach, holding hands, like, looking at the sunset kind of thing. cheesy stuff like that.
Most
Girls tend to like, actually.
I mean,
Most
I don't know
people
about you,
don't.
but I hold open doors for girls, and they don't say
Yeah.
thank you sometimes, and yeah, it's okay.
It's still a sweet gesture.
It's okay. Well, I hold doors for everyone. I feel so underappreciated. It's okay. But let's see here. Confidence, trust. I'm hearing a lot of very similar themes here. Confidence, trust. What else is there? There was communication, and question is, obviously this isn't for every girl, but I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Is it Simon? Help me with this. Is it chivalry?
Yeah, chivalry.
Okay. Sorry, that's just my whole immigrant. I don't know English kicking in there. But is chivalry dead? Do you think it's you know what chivalry means, right, Alex?
Yeah.
Do you think that's dead? Because I hear people always say like chivalry's dead now. That's not a thing anymore. But I feel like girls appreciate that if you're like that. At
They
least
do. Well, that definitely depends, but I find that, just personality traits related to that and everything, it definitely does help, like being sweet, not being like cold and like
Oh,
completely unavailable,
always respect women. That's how you work.
And and I think it plays back into that whole love languages thing. Like knowing how to love each other.
Simon, for the audience, do you have a definition of chivalry on hand with you?
Chivalry. I can give my own definition.
Yes.
This isn't going to be the dictionary definition, but chivalry is the act of doing something that would be considered chivalrous. And the definition of chivalrous is being kind, or not kind, but knight-like, or respectful
Honorable
towards others and honorable to yourself by doing acts of like good and kind
service.
things.
Thank you. Now, something that that's actually brought up to my mind was, I heard that a lot of girls like the small things that guys do, like not the gestures. I mean, like the meaning behind things they do. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely.
I hear a lot about that. They're like, oh, it isn't. Like, it's just the meaning behind it. Like, it's just the little things he does, not the really big things. Like, and they all build up, and that's what I hear a lot about. Like, things like holding, like being chivalrous, just in general, like opening doors, making sure that you let them know that you're thinking about them. I think that's a very big thing too. Is I think letting them know that they're in your mind. Do girls like attention? Attention, yeah, there we go. Do girls like that? I mean, obviously not. I don't think all girls, but I feel like it's something that many would like, attention on them.
Yeah, well, it's so nice when you know that he's actually like paying attention to you and he like is listening to you. Listening, and that goes into communication, but listening to someone definitely helps. For instance, I have an iPhone 7 and I lost my headphone adapter thing back in like March. And so a week later, my boyfriend, like I mentioned it for like 2 seconds once, and a week later, my boyfriend bought me a new cord.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's just, so like little things like that, just like show that you're paying attention to her and show that you actually listen to what she's saying and that you care about like what she's saying.
And
Stuff like that.
And show that you're thinking about her too.
Yeah. Even if it's as simple, like you don't have to spend money. Even if it's as simple as say like texting her good morning every morning, or like little compliments, or even just like picking wildflowers and like giving her flowers.
I texted someone good morning for a while and they blocked me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. But I do stuff like, what was it? You can leave like sticky notes in random places. I think I read about that somewhere.
Yeah.
That'd be cute. But Simon, do you have any other questions you wanted to ask our female expert?
Actually, there was one last question I wanted to ask before we end this episode, but it was, so out of all the traits that we talked about today, confidence, listening, and communication,
Trust.
trust, and, what was the last one? And physical appearance. what do you think is the most important one to yourself personally?
Well, for me, it's trust.
Okay, and then
That makes sense.
You know, if it's you have to, it's the basis of a relationship, really. Whether it be platonic or romantic, you have to have trust.
for the society and what media has projected, what do you think they want you to see the most?
Physical appearance, sadly.
Now, question off of that: to girls, is physical appearance? I mean, obviously you can just speak for yourself, but I feel like we mentioned this in our last week's episode that guys care more about appearance than girls, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. Because you never hear anything about girls. Like I brought this up, you never really hear about them saying, "Oh, I want someone who looks like this." I feel like it's more of a guy-related thing. But do girls care about physical appearance? I mean, it sounds like a dumb question. I feel like they would, but what are your thoughts and expert opinion on it?
Well, so I don't have too many friends who are like this anymore, but I definitely still hear a lot of girls who do focus on like, oh, he's so hot, or I only date blank guys, or stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like appearance shouldn't matter, because if you really like someone, you're going to think they're cute, and you're going to just appreciate them anyways.
And
So like,
Yeah.
and you're gonna
it's all about personality.
and if you like you said, if you really like them, then girls, I guess, learn how to love them. You learn how to love someone.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I don't think you really have to learn how to love them. If you are attracted to their personality, then you're attracted to them.
What happens to me a lot, that I hear a lot, is oh, I'm sorry, I only date guys who are taller than me. I'm super short, but no, it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just a thing. I feel.
But yeah. I know a lot of girls who definitely have physical preferences to who they date, but
yeah, there's nothing wrong
honestly,
with that.
like, yeah, I mean that's okay. But in the long run, I feel as if we fall for whoever we fall for, regardless of what they look like.
Yeah. So basically, to sum up everything that we've learned today, it's that no one, at least most people, won't care what you look like. What you're going to care about is the traits that you should know already that you need. You need to be confident so that you can actually talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
You need to trust them so that the relationship can actually work. And you need to be you just need to communicate so that you know what's going on in your own relationship. And that's just basically summing up everything. And we had a lot of intricacies going on, but if you want to figure out how to work your relationship, those are the 3 main factors that you're going to need.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but after taking away from this episode, girls are still confusing. But thanks to Alex, they're a little less confusing now, and it's not as big as a frontier anymore. Thank you,
Right.
Alex.
No problem.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning into High School Bathrooms. If this is your first time listening, we hope you enjoyed. We try to make new content every weekend, so tune in next week for more. Also, check out our Instagram at HSB Podcast, all one word.
Make sure to smash that like button and comment down below what you thought about this episode and what you think we should do for future episodes. As always, thanks for listening. Share us with your friends. Make sure to wash your hands with soap and water, and have a great day.